On July 25, 2025, a model appeared at the top of coding benchmarks that wasn't from San Francisco. It wasn't from Google. It wasn't a closed-source system wrapped behind an API paywall. It came from Beijing. Zhipu AI, known internationally as ZAI, released GLM 5.1, a 754 billion parameter open-source large language model. Within hours, it was topping SWE Bench Pro, one of the most respected benchmarks for evaluating real-world software engineering capability. It didn't just compete with closed-source Western models. According to Zhipu's published results, it outperformed them, including OpenAI's GPT series. The model is available now, free, under the MIT license, downloadable from Hugging Face, compatible with standard inference frameworks like VLLM and Hugging Face transformers. This isn't a press release about a future product. This is a deployed capability, and the implications stretch far beyond coding benchmarks. Zhipu AI was founded in 2019 as a spin-off from Tsinghua University's Knowledge Engineering Group. Its CEO, Zhang Peng, has built the company into one of China's most prominent AI labs, often described as Beijing's answer to OpenAI. The company has raised billions in funding. Investors include entities linked to Chinese state-backed funds alongside private capital. By 2024, Zhipu had already made waves with earlier GLM models, but nothing at this scale. GLM 5.1 represents a significant leap. At 754 billion parameters, it's one of the largest open-weight models ever released, dwarfing Meta's Llama 3.1405b and rivaling the parameter counts rumored for leading closed models. But size alone isn't the story. What matters is what it can do. According to Zhipu's technical documentation and independent early testing, GLM 5.1 can autonomously execute complex multi-step coding tasks, the kind that would typically take a skilled software engineer up to 8 hours. We're talking about building functional Linux system components, debugging sprawling code bases, refactoring and optimizing production-level software. Zhipu claims the model can optimize code up to 35 times faster than human engineers in controlled benchmarks. That figure demands scrutiny. Benchmark performance doesn't always translate to real-world deployment, but the SWE Bench Pro results provide some corroboration. This benchmark specifically tests a model's ability to resolve actual GitHub issues from real open-source repositories. It's designed to resist gaming. And GLM 5.1 is, as of late July 2025, sitting at or near the top. This is not autocomplete. This is autonomous software engineering. Let's look at the numbers carefully. On SWE Bench Pro, GLM 5.1 reportedly achieves state-of-the-art results among publicly benchmarked models. This benchmark was developed specifically because earlier coding evaluations had become saturated, too easy to distinguish truly capable systems. SWE Bench Pro uses verified, real-world software engineering problems that require understanding entire repository contexts, not just isolated functions. GLM 5.1 also posts competitive or leading scores on Live Code Bench, which evaluates coding performance on problems published after training data cutoffs, a crucial test for genuine reasoning versus memorization. Independent verification is still in early stages. The model dropped days ago, but early reports from developers on Hugging Face and social media platforms are broadly consistent with Zhipu's claims. Several independent AI researchers have described the results as, quote, genuinely surprising, particularly given the model's open availability. The caveat: benchmarks are not destiny. Real-world performance across diverse use cases will take weeks to properly evaluate. Perhaps the most strategically significant aspect of this release isn't the model's performance. It's the license. GLM 5.1 is released under the MIT license, one of the most permissive open-source licenses in existence. Anyone can download it, modify it, deploy it commercially, build products on top of it. No restrictions, no royalties, no approval needed. This stands in stark contrast to the approach taken by leading American AI companies. OpenAI's most capable models remain firmly behind API walls. Anthropic's Claude is closed source. Even Meta's Llama models, while open-weight, carry licensing restrictions that limit certain commercial and military applications. Zhipu has essentially given the world unrestricted access to what may be the most capable coding AI ever publicly released. The model is fully compatible with VLLM for high-throughput inference and the Hugging Face Transformers library, meaning integration into existing workflows is straightforward. The question is, why? There are several theories, and they're not mutually exclusive. First, ecosystem dominance. When you release a powerful model openly, developers worldwide build tools, fine-tunes, and applications around your architecture. This creates dependency, a kind of soft infrastructure influence that's difficult to replicate. Second, undermining the commercial moat of American competitors. If a free, open model matches or exceeds the performance of paid API services from OpenAI or Anthropic, the pricing power of those companies erodes. This is asymmetric competition at its most effective. Third, talent signaling. Releasing a model this capable announces to the global research community that Chinese AI labs are operating at the frontier. In the competition for international talent and partnerships, that signal matters. And fourth, this arrives in the direct context of escalating US-China technology competition. The Biden and Trump administrations have imposed successive rounds of export controls on advanced semiconductors and AI technology. Zhipu releasing GLM 5.1 under MIT license is, in part, a demonstration that those controls have not prevented China from reaching the frontier. This development will not go unnoticed in Washington. Since October 2022, the US has pursued an increasingly aggressive strategy of denying China access to advanced AI chips, particularly NVIDIA's H100 and successor GPUs. The theory: without cutting-edge hardware, Chinese AI labs cannot train frontier models. GLM 5.1 challenges that theory directly. Whether Zhipu used stockpiled chips, domestically produced alternatives, or novel training efficiency techniques remains unclear. The company has not disclosed its full training infrastructure, but the output speaks for itself. In February 2025, Representative Mike Gallagher, former chair of the House Select Committee on the CCP, warned that, quote, export controls are a depreciating asset. They buy time, they don't buy permanent advantage. GLM 5.1 suggests that time may be running shorter than anticipated. For the defense and intelligence communities, an open-source model capable of autonomous software engineering tasks has obvious dual-use implications, from cybersecurity applications to automated vulnerability discovery to autonomous systems development. The early response from the global developer community has been a mixture of excitement and cautious evaluation. On Hugging Face, the model's download count has surged since release. Developers report that inference quality on complex coding tasks is remarkably high, particularly for multi-file operations and long-context reasoning. Some researchers have raised questions about benchmark contamination, the possibility that training data may have included benchmark test cases. This is a legitimate methodological concern that applies to virtually every frontier model release, and it will take independent red teaming to fully assess. Others note that running a 754 billion parameter model requires substantial hardware. This isn't something that runs on a laptop. Effective deployment requires multi-GPU setups or cloud infrastructure. But with VLLM optimization, the inference costs are manageable for serious deployments. The consensus, to the extent one exists this early, GLM 5.1 is real, it's capable, and it fundamentally changes the landscape of open-source AI. Here's what to watch. If GLM 5.1's performance holds up under rigorous independent evaluation, it represents an inflection point. The assumption that frontier AI capability would remain concentrated among a handful of American companies, accessible only through paid, controlled APIs, is no longer operative. An open-source model at this level of capability democratizes access in ways that are simultaneously empowering and destabilizing. Startups worldwide gain access to coding AI they could never have built themselves, but so do actors with less constructive intentions. The AI safety community has long warned about the risks of releasing highly capable models openly. This release will intensify that debate enormously. For US policymakers, GLM 5.1 forces a difficult reckoning. Export controls didn't prevent this, and once a model is released under MIT license, it cannot be unreleased. It's in the wild, permanently. The race for AI supremacy just entered a new phase, and the rules, if there ever were rules, are being rewritten in real time.